Well, we're taking you to new heights, taking a live look over a beautiful downtown Macon. The time is now 6:30 a.m. on this Monday, April the 4th. How are you feeling? I hope you're feeling good as we start this work week. I'm Wanye Reese.
And I'm Caitlin Heck, and starting the week on such a great note, although we're going to have a lot of changes as we go through the next few days.
Yes, all good things must come to an end, right, Courtney?
That's right, absolutely. We do have multiple severe threats as we go through the next couple of days. It's something I just thought about, guys. My birthday's in 1 week from today. All right, yeah. Birthday month is here, everyone. All right, we'll talk about the weather now. 42 right now in the city of Macon. Y'all already know me. I'll go off on my tangents way too long. You're looking live on top of Atrium Health Navison. A cold morning out there. Area-wide, we are generally in the low to mid 40s. 43 in Warner Robins, 47 in Montezuma and in Unadilla, 45 in Butler, 42 in Cochrane, and 43 in Gordon and in Forsyth. Through the day today, we will have mostly sunny to partly cloudy skies. By lunchtime, we'll head near 70 degrees, so you'll probably need a jacket for the first half of the day, but the second half definitely won't. We'll top out near 80 degrees for the afternoon. Overall, a warm and dry Monday, but that is going to change tomorrow. You can see all of the area under a level 3 out of 5 threat for severe storms. Damaging wind gusts, a few tornadoes will also be possible, but after tomorrow, we're not done with our severe threat. We do have one Wednesday that could linger into Thursday. I'm going to time everything out for you. It's in a few minutes.
Thank you, Courtney. The trial for the man accused of murdering a UGA professor in Milledgeville is set to start today with jury selection.
Prosecutors say Marcus Lillard killed his girlfriend, Marianne Shockley, in May of 2019 at his friend's Baldwin County home. The Georgia Bureau of Investigation says Lillard's friend, Clark Heindel, made the first 911 call about Shockley. He reportedly said Shockley drowned but was breathing, then later said she wasn't. First responders saw Heindel and Lillard giving Shockley CPR when they arrived.
EMTs and investigators wrote that the behavior of the two men seemed odd and their statements inconsistent. An autopsy done at the GBI crime lab found Shockley's cause of death was manual strangulation. Investigators charged Lillard with concealing the death of another person, aggravated assault, and murder.
Now to 3 other headlines we are following this morning. The Houston County Sheriff's Office continues to look into a deadly shooting of a child in Warner Robins. They say over the weekend, investigators arrested a 5th suspect in the case, 20-year-old Chase Watson, for the murder of 8-year-old Marianne Shockley. Shockley died last week, a few days after a drive-by shooting on Virginia Dare Drive. And a man is dead after an accident in Montezuma involving a 4-wheeler and a dirt bike. The police department says officers and Macon County first responders got called to Spring Street around 5 yesterday. Witnesses say the 4-wheeler hit a parked car and flipped, hitting the dirt bike. The 4-wheeler driver, 47-year-old Eric Felton, died there. The dirt bike driver, who was a juvenile, went to the hospital.
Bibb County deputies are looking for the person who robbed a Dollar General in Macon over the weekend. The sheriff's office says it happened at the location on Emory Road around 10 Saturday night. They got a report that a man possibly in his late teens wore a ski mask and went into the store. He pretended to act like he was shopping, then walked towards the front with a knife and demanded money from the register. He ran away after getting some cash. If you have any information, you can call the Macon Regional Crime Stoppers. That number, it's 1-877-68-CRIME. That number one more time for you. It's 1-877-68-CRIME. Let's get you to your news happening across the state. Today's the deadline for any bill to get a final vote at the Georgia Capitol, marking the 40th and final scheduled day of the 2022 legislative session. Here are a few items lawmakers are still looking at: a budget for next fiscal year, an income tax cut, and legalizing all forms of gambling, including horse racing and sports betting.
Well, Georgia lawmakers from both sides of the aisle are criticizing President Joe Biden's proposal to close an Air National Guard training center in Savannah. The president's 2023 proposed budget calls for shutting down the Combat Readiness Training Center. It conducts training missions for both reservist and active duty fighter pilots. Democratic U.S. Senator Raphael Warnock pledged to fight to keep the training center open, saying its closing would mean a loss of 100 jobs. Warnock and Republican U.S. Representative Buddy Carter both say it is the wrong time to undermine U.S. military readiness when Russia's invasion of Ukraine has made the world less secure. U.S. Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene now challenging a state law. It's one that a group of voters is using to question Greene's eligibility to run for re-election. The challenge, filed last month with the Georgia Secretary of State's office, alleges Greene helped facilitate the 2021 Capitol riot. It says that violates a provision of the 14th Amendment and makes her ineligible to run for re-election. Well, Greene filed a lawsuit last week. She is asking a judge to declare that the law the voters are using is in itself unconstitutional and to prohibit the state from enforcing it.
Georgia drivers, the pain at the pump continues to see relief. AAA says the state's average gas price currently sits at $3.86 a gallon. That's down 9 cents from just a week ago. AAA says Warner Robins is one of the least expensive metro markets in the state, with customers paying an average of $3.63 a gallon. The time is now 6:35 a.m. Now to three things Bibb County commissioners are set to talk about at this week's meeting.
Well, for years, county leaders, including some judges, have discussed more space needed for court. Well, that need became even more clear during the pandemic. Now, Mayor Lester Miller is proposing a solution, setting up courtrooms in the Macon Mall. Commissioners are considering setting aside up to $4 million to build extra courtroom space in the mall. It would come from 2018 SPLOST revenues.
If approved, it wouldn't be the only government business happening in the building. The Macon Transit Authority, Planning and Zoning Commission, Business Development Services, IT, and Code Enforcement are all expected to move out of Terminal Station this year.
And an aircraft maintenance company wants to rent office and hangar space at the Middle Georgia Regional Airport. The county will vote tomorrow on whether to allow H2 Aero Services LLC to rent two buildings on the property. The lease would cost a little over $60,000 for 2 years.
Commissioner Virgil Watkins wants to name a bridge after a Macon educator and activist. Naomi Johnson was known for educating both kids and adults in the Pleasant Hill neighborhood on the importance of good nutrition. Johnson died this past September. Watkins wants to name the Walnut Street Bridge that crosses over I-75 in her memory. Commissioners will vote on whether to set aside up to $500 from the general fund in order to do it. They meet tomorrow evening at 6. Well, it's been just a few weeks since Macon Bibb County opened its first trash convenience center. It's a project the county is trying out to cut down on illegal dumping.
And so far, it's collected around 52 tons of waste.
Wow.
The process is used to make it simpler. First, crews will need to check your ID when you go. You need to live in Bibb County to be able to use the center.
Then crews will direct you to the right dumpster. You can bring household trash, furniture, yard debris, tires, and some building material.
It was tough to always use the landfill at a time that was convenient. It wasn't always open. So this is great that it's open 7 days a week.
And the center is open from 8:30 until 4, 7 days a week.
It's also important to point out that the center does not take commercial waste or roofing materials. In Perry, you could do a little spring cleaning this week with the city's help. They're looking to pick up certain items that people are trying to get rid of. Their annual spring cleanup event starts today and it runs through this Friday.
So you can place bulk items like furniture and tires without the rims in a pile by the curb, but the city says you must put them out no later than 6 a.m. the morning before your scheduled cleanup day. There are some things that you cannot throw away, like biohazardous materials, batteries, and used oil. All right, the time is now 6:38. A busy week for our weather department this week.
Definitely, they are going to be putting in a little bit of overtime with the potential of severe weather that we may see, Court.
That's right, yeah, and that could, of course, disrupt the cleanup that's going on in Perry. So outdoor workers, whether it's volunteer or not, you're definitely going to want to stay weather aware over the next couple of days because it is going to get a little bit dicey as we head into tomorrow. And then, unfortunately, we aren't going to end our severe threat there. We will have a multi-day severe threat across the area. So we have lots to cover. We're going to start with a live look on top of the fairgrounds in Perry. Those of you getting ready to head out the door, like all of the people along 75 north and southbound there, it is cold this morning. We're at 40 right now in the city of Perry, and this is about as cold as we're going to get. The sun, I believe, is now starting to rise. I was seeing it on our Macon sky cam. We'd have to tilt this one back the other direction to see the sunrise in Perry, but it is going to be a beautiful day today. Enjoy it because, like we've been talking about throughout the morning, that is going to change tomorrow. Right now, temperatures area-wide generally in the low to mid 40s. We're at 42 in Macon, 43 in Warner Robins, 44 in Roberta, 47 in Montezuma, 41 in Dublin and in Wrightsville, and 45 in Milledgeville. Through the day today, it's going to be beautiful, nice and warm. Temperatures by the lunch hour will be near 70 degrees, and we'll see mostly sunny to partly cloudy skies with temperatures topping out in the upper 70s, maybe even some of us in the low 80s as our wind starts to pull out of the southwest through the day today. That's going to pull in a warmer and more moist air mass in order to fuel us for that severe storm threat tomorrow. All of the area under that level 3 out of 5 threat for severe storms. What we're going to be looking for, damaging straight line wind gusts upwards of 60 miles per hour. Very heavy rainfall. I think we are going to have to watch for that potential for some localized flooding tomorrow, maybe a few tornadoes. Hail is definitely going to be our lowest end threat tomorrow. It's going to be the wind and that tornado threat that are going to be our two main threats tomorrow. So let's take you through it. Tomorrow morning, as you're getting ready to head out the door, you don't have to worry about any rain, but you are going to want to be weather aware because the story is going to change for that ride home from work and school tomorrow. Around 11 o'clock, we'll watch for maybe any isolated storms to roll through ahead of what we call an MCS, okay? Mesoscale convective system. Say that 5 times fast. That's what's going to roll in tomorrow. It's not going to be a cold front, a little bit of a different system starting to set up. And with that said, these are very difficult to forecast. Unlike cold fronts, they're smaller scale, so models have a hard time figuring out exactly the setup. And you're going to recognize throughout the day today, models are going to change. So you are going to want to pay attention to the forecast, not only this morning, but also this afternoon into the evening, because this timing could change as we go through the day. Either way, around lunchtime tomorrow, that's when we're really going to open up that window of opportunity for severe storms, starting northwest, pushing off to the east. Within this batch of showers and storms, very heavy rainfall. That is going to reduce visibility, damaging wind gusts upwards of 60 miles per hour or so. Also maybe an embedded tornado or two. Take a look at the timing, 1, 2 o'clock. That's the time a lot of students will be getting on the bus. Parents, teachers, be sure you are paying very close attention to the weather tomorrow afternoon. We won't be done. Once that first batch pushes out, notice a more linear mode of showers and storms pushes in from west to east. That's going to prolong our severe threat, giving a second round of storms for places west of 75 and then along the 75 corridor, eventually pushing into our southeastern counties by 5 o'clock, continuing that threat again for damaging wind gusts, maybe a few tornadoes. Could we have a few showers and storms linger into the late evening? Yes, I don't think severe activity will be going on then, but we will have the chance for severe storms again on Wednesday between 2 p.m. in the afternoon into sunrise Thursday. So this could potentially be an overnight threat. I think with this, we're mainly going to be looking for damaging winds and the potential for some large hail in the afternoon. All that being said, you want to stay weather aware the next few days. Have a way to receive weather warnings. The good news is all this clears out by the Braves home opener on Thursday night, and the second half of the week will be unseasonably cool, but will be dry.